Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you were with us this morning, I'm Brandon, Vice President of Marketing here at Ocean, to start out our first quick coffee breakout session. The idea here is grab yourself a cup of coffee. This is going to be less than 15 minutes. It's a quick start on something that can help you today with Prospecting Day. This session is about finding your ideal customer. What's a way salespeople can do a simple segmentation of your own market to figure out who is my ideal customer? The question is then, how do you find the best leads? You know, those Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross leads. Chances are there's something here. You're going to know some of this about your business. I talk to a lot of people. It's like, oh, we sell to this size of company, and they have that metric based on number of employees. Sometimes traffic to the website, something like Alexa rank. There's a number of ways you could judge a company's size. As well as country. A lot of sales reps have your own territory or region, whether it's part of a country or Benelux region, DAC, things like that. So some of this is set for you. But the key one to build off of, from where we're coming from, is industry. Can you find an industry that is the perfect fit for what it is, your product or the service that you're selling? And you could then divide your market industry by industry, and you can build on top of industry to go things that you might already know, or most sales reps have an idea of the company size, traffic, or country. And then there's another layer, which is things like maybe their social presence, tools they're using, their technologies that they build off of. A good way to segment as your product or service is built out. Maybe you work with like the e-commerce space and you build a BigCommerce or a Magento app. Start targeting, saying, hey, we've got this new simple integration, and it can be a good reason why you get in touch with these companies now. But the start is with industry. And you think, okay, with industry as well, get specific with it would be my advice, and where we come from. People say things like, oh, finance or financial services, like, great, but that's so broad. You get things like Bitcoin traders and established banks under financial services. Whereas if you can divide it up into finer grain, so it's not, banks and insurance companies and Bitcoin companies and payday loans, but like take all of those individually, and even not insurance, but health insurance, life insurance, home insurance, and see if you could pick apart a market like that, and then you get very specific industry niches where you're successful. The reason is when you start to reach out to these people, and as you close more deals, you become the real presence and the expert in that industry, in that sub-industry, and it makes it so much easier to continue to kick down doors. And you get to a point where I've seen it with really good sales reps where it's like, hey, I'm doing you a favor by calling you today because I work with A, B, C, D, and E. And then people are like, oh yeah, no, we want to talk to you. So if you get to that point, that's the goal. But it starts with one single industry, very specific. Look at your country, size, traffic, social presence, and technology. How do we do that? Segmentation for sales starts with your data. And the question that really comes up is, do you trust your own CRM data or not? And either way, there's a way you can work with this. Option A, you trust your CRM data. You say, you know what, it's in pretty good shape. We're a small team, or it's just been cleaned up, or we enriched it with whatever we did. Simplest way, run a CRM report, or has your sales ops team do it if you can't do it yourself. But run a report looking for the industries you've closed, and look either for your average contract value, your ACV, so like what are you selling the most deals for, or which accounts are worth the most money, and the number of deals. Are you closing within that? That's a pretty simple way to say this is a group where we're successful with. You'll also get a sense of closed loss deals if you're looking in your own CRM, and maybe some forgotten opportunities you can pick back up before going out and finding new ones. So like usually there's tons of gold sitting in your CRM before you ever reach out to get that next one. So start with your CRM if you trust the data. For a lot of people that don't trust the data, I worked somewhere it was like, oh, automotive is where we're really successful. No, automotive was the first on the drop down and nobody reported the industry right. So it looked like everything you closed was automotive, but it wasn't actually the truth. If that's the case, if that's your reality, your data from yesterday is probably pretty good. What deals did you just close? Or what deal did you just renew? And renewals is a good one to look at if you're a subscription service, because it's like, hey, these people like your service enough to come back. So see what's been renewing and use that as a target industry to start saying what other opportunities are out there. you yourself as a rep, you tend to know the deals that you close, and it's just an easy way to get the conversation started as you do build your credibility in that industry. So that's the simplest segmentation. Trust your data or not. Looking at industries in your CRM or not. In finding target accounts, there's a couple ways to do this as well. Today's prospecting day, use Ocean. There's the demo on the prospecting day website, or in the first, I gave kind of a detailed intro in the kickoff. If you missed that, you can watch a replay. Other ways to do it, though, you can build up lists on Google. You search for that industry and your country, things like that. You can get a good list there, but it takes a long time because you have to go back and recheck in your CRM, as well as you're depending on what you're looking for, you're going to find the companies that are like SEO optimized, which is if you're targeting smaller companies or like a deeper niche, it's easy to find like the top 5. What about the next 50 companies that would be in that vertical? So it can take a while, but there you go. Google's free. They're just trying, they've optimized for people buying, not salespeople looking. Review sites are another like unused gem. Capterra, G2 Crowd for like software services, Yelp for restaurants, hotels, TripAdvisor would be another. Trustpilot, I'll give a little shout out to here. I used to work there. Some easy wins to start out today as well. They're all about getting started quickly. So the cold outreach template we shared, there's the first two in there I put in there specifically because one, it's like a 10-word email and it just can really find leads. I used to do this when I was selling. I would do this every February. It would get me a couple of deals that weren't in pipeline that would close in February. And you just reach out to your closed lost deals from last year, people you haven't spoken to in 3 months, and send out this email. Just send it out through your Gmail even, or your marketing team could do this for you potentially. Subject 2021, hey, are you still looking for help with whatever it is you do this year? That's it, because you've talked to these people before. Chances are a couple of them get back and it's like, oh, I'm so glad you actually reached out. We've been meaning to look at this, or yeah, now is a good time. Like, you can add a little more detail, but the brevity of that email is what makes it great. Next one too would be a referral. I would build this into your process, but it's also a good way just to reach out and see if people you worked with in the past, people you've won, your customers were happy, if you've marked them in your CRM as like an evangelist, great, that's a good starting point. Or just reach out to people you know and you worked with and say, hey, we're trying to grow a lot this year. Just wanted to see a quick favor. Is there anyone in your network you could introduce me to? I do it in a way with this email, give them like a cut and paste CC that they could send off. If you send this out, you can send this out in mass. Chances are you get a couple of people that write you back, and that's such an easy, it makes it a warm intro and not a cold intro. So those two, you have the templates. They're on the Processing Day webpage. Please use them. It will get you sales very quickly. That's it for segmentation. Other things too, if you're doing more segmentation, more serious stuff, if you build in your CRM, we haven't turned this off, but you could use Ocean segmentation if you take the time to build it in, a little more advanced, maybe not what you get into today. You should be focusing on building up the right list or right list of companies that you're going to prospect for the rest of the quarter. Hope that's helpful. You take nothing away, use those two templates, and get yourself some quick wins. Thanks so much. We will see you in a little bit. Next one's about cold emails. I can break down some of those emails and tell you why emails that are short, sweet, good subject lines, get responses, and help you with your cold outreach. Hope to see you there. Thanks.